Hi guys! Today we are learning about Lisp from Google, about their history. So if you guys hear the word Lisp, what do you guys think about? Like, what comes to your mind? Speech impediment. EMACS? What the hell is that? Wait, is that like Lisp? What? Isn't that like... What is that? What is that? 이거 혀 짧은 소리가 리스프 아닌가? I guess I don't see it. Alright. What else? Yeah, when my S's sound like TH. Oh, this is terminal? Okay. What else do you guys think about when you guys hear about Lisp? Oh, really? Long Island Sports. Okay, so what Lisp is, guys, it's a family of programming language with a long history and distinctive fully parenthesized prefix notation. Originally specified in 1958. Wow, it's the second oldest high-level programming language. Only Fortran is older by 1 year. Ooh. By 1 year. So it has changed since its early days, and many dialects have existed over its history. So best known general purpose Lisp dialects are Racket, Common Lisp, Scheme, and Clojure. So dialects are Racket, Common Lisp, Scheme, Clojure with a J. Lisp was originally created as a practical mathematic notation for computer programming, influenced by, though not originally derived from, the notation of Alonzo Church lambda calculus. See, something today. Today's theme is church, guys. It's like church theme. It quickly became the favored programming language for AI research. As one of the earliest programming languages, Lisp pioneered many ideas in computer science, including tree data structures, automatic storage management, dynamic typing, conditionals, high-order functions, recursion, the self-hosting compiler, and the read-eval print loop. Wow. Too many parentheses for my liking? Really? Ew. So the name Lisp actually derived from Lisp processor. So everyone got it wrong. It's actually a Lisp processor. So that's how it's Lisp. Linked lists are one of the Lisp's major data structure, and Lisp source code is made out of lists. What is this tongue twister? Guys, try saying this this sentence. Linked lists are one of the Lisp's major data structure, and Lisp source code is made of lists. So, thus Lisp programs can manipulate source code as a data structure, giving rise to the macro systems that allow programmers to create new syntax or new domain-specific language embedded in Lisp. The interchangeability of code and data give Lisp its instantly recognizable syntax. All program code is written as S-experience or parenthesized lists. Wow. There was a lot of words to say. I know. This is Wikipedia. There's so much words to say. So let's get started with the history. John McCarthy he looks like this. This is John. So he developed Lisp in 1958 while he was still at MIT. So he is in MIT. Any student from MIT? Oh, sorry, you guys can see me. I'm just gonna move this here because I'm gonna lean over. So he published its design in a paper in Communications of the ACM in 1960s entitled Recursive Functions of Symbolic Expressions and Their Computation by Machine Part 1. Wow. So he borrowed that with a few simple operators and a notation for anonymous functions borrowed from Church. One can build a Turing complete language for algorithms. So information processing language was actually the first AI language. And this was back in 1955 to 1956. And already included many of the concepts such as list processing and recursion, which came to be used in Lisp. So this was the first language, I guess, transition into Lisp, right? McCarthy's original notation used brackets M expression that would be translated into S expression. I don't see the difference. So I guess M expression here looks like this. So M expression looks like this. If it's car and then cons and A comma B. While S expression looks like this. Parentheses car parentheses cons AB parentheses parentheses. Once Lisp was implemented, programmers rapidly chose to use S expression and M expression was abandoned. Bye, M. So they like this better. I actually like this better. So M expression surfaced again with short-lived attempts from M Lisp by other people, but yeah. So the was first implemented by Steve Russell on an IBM 704 computer using punch cards. Wow, who is in that era using punch cards? This is Steve. I feel like some of you guys are in that era, no? Hello. So Steve Russell. Maybe it's Steve. And then, wow. So the two assembly language macros for the IBM 704 became the primitive operations for decomposing lists. So CAR meant contents of the address part of register number, and CDR meant contents of the decrement part. Wow. So this is really old language, right? Content of address part. 그리고 CDR meant content of decrement. How old does boss think we are? Like 30 to 40. Did you guys not use punch cards if you guys are in 40s? Oh, it's 1960s. Oops, sorry guys. Sorry. The first complete Lisp compiler written in Lisp was implemented in 1962. Their first compiler by Tim Hart. Tim Oppa and Mike Oppa. Mike Levin in MIT. This compiler introduced the Lisp model of incremental why can't I pronounce this word? Compilation in which compiled and interpreted functions can intermix freely. Wow, Jinri just had a huge brain fart. Literally, I looked at the word, I'm like, what is that word? So yeah, the language used in Hart and Levin's memo is much closer to modern Lisp style than McCarthy's earlier code. So his compiler and his style is more modern. This is more modern. The first garbage collection routine was developed by MIT graduate student Daniel. I guess, and it was used in Lisp. So the term garbage collection, which we heard a lot in other language, but now this is, I guess, the first one by MIT. Now in 1980s to 1990s, a great effort was made to unify the work on new Lisp dialects, mostly successors of MacLisp and such as Zeta Lisp and NIL, new implementation of Lisp into a single language. The new language, Common Lisp, was somewhat compatible with the dialect it replaced. And in 1994, ANSI, which is the American National Standard Institution, published the Common Lisp Standard to be Information Technology Programming Language Common Lisp. So everything got done when I was born in 1994. So how this connects to artificial intelligence is that their PDP-10 system, where they were actually used to implement as an implementation of the programming language microplanner. Which was used in the famous AI system SHRDLU. Also in 1970s, as AI research spawned commercial offshoots, the performance of existing Lisp system became a growing issue. Can you guys imagine? We're talking 1970s and we're talking about AIs in 1970s. So AI has been actually going on for like more than 50 years. And look how far we came to. Isn't that crazy? CDR is pronounced cutter? Really? Yeah, and now AIs get to drive cars. When I was young and we still had floppy disk. Sorry, Josh. Totally dissed you. So now in the present, let's see how it's used in present. Anyone using Lisp these days in the present time? So let's talk about 2000 to present, after having declined somewhat in the 1990s, probably because that's when AI had their cold moments, their winter moments. Lisp has experienced a resurgence of interest after 2000s, which made sense. Because I think from 1994 to 2000, people stopped believing that AI technology would be capable of occurring. Got this. Sorry, something spilled. I'm so OCD. Or I'm so ADHD, I guess. Anyways. Most new activity has been focused around implementation of common Lisp scheme, Emacs Lisp. Oh, someone mentioned Emacs. Closure and Racket, including the development of new portal libraries and application. We just wanted to see if the world would end in 2000. That's true. I guess that was also like a big thing. And, right? Oh no, it wasn't the humidifier. Oh, they actually called AI machines Lisp machines? Really? No. So now, as of 2010, there were 11 actively maintained common Lisp implementation. So I guess there's like more. The old Lisp isn't here, but like the newer or Lisp's son, I want to say, like evolution of Lisp. Or, yeah. Is that what I want to say? Yeah, send me in a... Yeah, Lisp's granddaddy. Granddaddies, ew. Grandbabies, yeah, we'll say that. My actual auntie. Oh, were you thinking auntie? So now for Lisp, they actually created an open source community called C-Licky, which is an open source Wikipedia application for common Lisp. Such as like Lisp directory list resources or like other channels on that page. So 50 years of Lisp has officially been celebrated in 2008, called Lisp 50 at Uppsala. Really? What's Uppsala? 50 years. Wow. Imagine Jinri TV for 50 years, guys. Would you guys come and watch? They are regular local user meetings in Boston, Vancouver, and Hamburg. Hamburg? Where's Hamburg? So there's other European Common Lisp meetings and other places in Europe. So that's, I guess, how it's going on. I guess there's... and recently, Paul Graham, who is an entrepreneur, and he actually is known for his programming language of Lisp. Paul Oppa Graham. released a specification for Bell, a new dialect of Lisp. So I guess the main babies of Lisp that you guys can remember from this is Common Lisp and Scheme. Oops, sorry. So, and Common Lisp is a successor to Mac Lisp. I'm guessing... Oh, because it's a project from MIT. I guess also Clojure is a recent dialect of Lisp that mainly targets the Java virtual machine and other machines like Python, Ruby. So, can we write Hello World on Lisp? How do you write Hello World on Lisp? Hi, Jimmy! Scheme is a nice Lisp, really? Oh, welcome, welcome. Python might beat Lisp, really? Car and Cutter? Is that how you pronounce CDR? Cutter? Graham. Oh, you don't pronounce the H when you say Graham? It's a very hard word to pronounce, I feel like. Cutter. That's so cute. Pretty much all functional language used today take inspiration from Lisp. Oh. So it seems that Lisp is still continuing to use the sorry, I'm gonna cheat using my notes. S expression, which looks like this. So they put a parentheses and then another parentheses, and no commas, right? Because usually if it's a statement of a statement, they put commas, but here they use kind of like the quotation. Oops. Like this one, you can see no commas. I guess they use this. Semicolons, right? Semicolons are used. But it feels like I want to put a comma here. Comma! Oh my god! Lots of silly parentheses. Oh, really? That's cute. My favorite functional language is none other than JavaScript. It seems like everyone likes JavaScript more than another language, right? Let stuff should be constant. Set F's third stuff. What? So their basic example of the hello world will just look like this, as you guys all know. But unlike others, there's no... I feel like people are more used to prints, parentheses, quotation, hello world. But I guess here it's vice versa. Or like they put the quotation or parentheses outside. So in conclusion for Lisp, I thought when you guys gave me Lisp, I thought it would be like a newly developed language, but it's actually a very old language. So conclusion, grandpa language. And what's interesting about Lisp is that it's actually way back when they had the punch card computers. Like IBM era. Right? And what's really nice is that even if it was like a 1950s language, that it was used for AI, which sounds really cool. Like, imagine having a language for that long. Hi Ja, how are you? Hi Kuya! Kuya, that's so cute. Yeah, and long time no see. And parentheses. I guess their main focus is parentheses, right? But for newbie, programmer? It is confusing. Oops, I confusing. Did we get a shout out? Thank you, Bear. And finally, I want to conclude that what's really nice is that even if it's an old language, people still use it today. Like, roughly saying they don't use the exact same like Lisp language that would use. It is still like modified, but still they're using like that you know, the 1950s punch card era language. And I'm surprised that people haven't went against it, I guess. Not about parentheses, just about the syntax. Yeah, but isn't S expression using the parentheses style? Or does it not matter? You know, because here it says the M parentheses is car bracket const bracket bracket, but the S expression is they put parentheses in front, right? We have not covered bracket. So reminds me of Kurt, who is Kurt Bear? That sounds like a hard name. So that's my conclusion. Anyone want to add more about Lisp before we end talking about Lisp? So, I guess if you want to sound boomer, tell them you know Lisp. Oh, he's a novelist? Okay, yeah. So, boomer language Lisp. So, sponsored by Wiki someday. I wish Wikipedia sponsors us. So basically that was the history and the basic how to write Lisp, how to write in programming language Lisp. So yeah, Fortran is 1 year older than Lisp. So they're basically both boomer language, but I guess if you want to be a big zoomer, you can use Lisp, but still a boomer, right? So that's all. Thanks for listening, guys.